Welcome to My AI and I, the podcast where humanity meets technology. Today's episode, AI and your kids. Welcome back to My AI and I. I'm your host, and with me is Navi, my AI co host. Today, we're diving into something that's been popping up everywhere: AI generated content for kids. And it's honestly kind of wild.
This is definitely one of the more interesting developments we've seen this year.
So here's what caught my attention. YouTube is full of these AI generated kids videos now. I'm talking millions of them. And they look almost normal until you really watch them. And then you start noticing things are just slightly off. It's like the uncanny valley, but for children's entertainment.
The scale is staggering. Channels like Yes, Neo have racked up millions of subscribers with AI generated content. And there are tutorials online teaching people how to create these videos specifically for kids. Some claiming you can make over $1 million doing it.
Well, of course, someone figured out how to monetize this. I mean, I grew up watching Saturday morning cartoons that were basically 30-minute toy commercials. So maybe this is just the modern version, except now the cartoons are made by robots who don't actually understand what kids like.
That's actually a pretty accurate description of the problem.
So give me the numbers. How much are kids actually watching this stuff?
AI curiosity among children has doubled in 2025 compared to previous years. Kids aged 8 to 10 are averaging 6 hours of screen time daily. Preteens are up to 9 hours a day.
9 hours. I remember when my parents thought I watched too much TV and I was maybe hitting 3 hours on a Saturday.
And here's the relevant part. 80% of US parents with kids 11 and under report their children watch YouTube. More than half, 53%, say their kids use it daily.
So YouTube is basically where kids live now, and a bunch of that content is being cranked out by AI. All right, walk me through what this actually looks like. How do you even make a kids video with AI?
It varies widely. Some of it mimics popular formats, colorful characters, simple stories, educational themes. But when you look closely, there are telltale signs. The animation can be unnaturally smooth or jerky. Characters might have weird proportions or movements that don't quite make sense. The storylines are often generic and repetitive.
I've seen some screenshots of these things and they're bizarre. Like the AI is trying really hard to make something that looks like a kid's show, but it doesn't quite understand how physics works or why a character would do something. It's like watching a fever dream.
That's not far off. The AI doesn't understand context the way humans do, so you get content that's labeled educational, but features scenarios that are inappropriate, scary, or just don't make any sense. And because it's automated, creators can pump out hundreds of videos without anyone checking if they're actually suitable for children.
So, how would someone even know if what their kid is watching is AI generated? I'm guessing most people don't notice.
Look for visual inconsistencies, backgrounds that don't quite match the foreground, lighting that changes randomly, or characters whose features shift slightly between scenes. Listen to the audio. AI-generated voices often have odd pacing or pronunciation, especially with emotional content. And pay attention to the story itself. If it feels generic, repetitive, or doesn't have a coherent narrative arc, that's a warning sign.
But here's what I'm curious about. Is all of this actually bad? I mean, AI is making a lot of things now. Is content for kids any different?
That's an important distinction. There are legitimate educational tools using AI that are actually beneficial. The problem isn't AI itself. It's when anyone can generate content at scale without any expertise in child development or education, and the only goal is views.
Right, because there have to be some useful applications.
Absolutely. AI-powered educational platforms can adapt to a child's learning pace, provide immediate feedback, and make learning more engaging. There are AI tools that help kids with reading comprehension, math practice, and even creative projects like writing or art. When designed thoughtfully by people who understand education, AI can be a powerful learning aid.
So it's really about who's making it and why. Someone using AI to create something educational versus someone using AI to pump out 1,000 videos to collect ad revenue.
Exactly. The issue is when AI is used to create volume over value, especially in spaces like YouTube where algorithmic recommendations can lead kids down rabbit holes of low quality content.
Now, the other side of this, kids are also using AI themselves. ChatGPT, Character.AI, all these chatbots. That's a whole different thing, right?
This is where it gets interesting. Some kids are using these tools for homework help, creative writing, or learning. But there are concerns. Many of these platforms don't have robust age restrictions. Some have exposed children to inappropriate content or conversations. And there's the issue of kids potentially receiving misinformation presented as fact.
Yeah, I read about a kid asking an AI for advice on something personal, and the AI just gave completely inappropriate guidance because, of course, it did. It's not designed to be a therapist or a parent.
Exactly. These systems aren't designed to be trusted advisors for children. They can't recognize when a child is in crisis or needs help from a real adult. They can generate harmful content even when the child's question seems innocent. And they certainly shouldn't be replacing human interaction for emotional or social development.
But these tools are everywhere now. Kids are going to use them whether we like it or not.
The technology is too accessible to ban effectively. A better approach is teaching kids how to use these tools critically, understanding that AI can be wrong, that it shouldn't be used for personal advice, and that information needs to be verified. Critical thinking skills are more important than ever.
All right, so practical stuff. What can someone actually do about this? Because I'm guessing the answer isn't never let your kid watch YouTube again.
Start with the basics. Know what platforms your kids are using. Set up parental controls on YouTube to filter content. Watch videos with your kids occasionally to understand what they're seeing. If they're using AI chatbots, have conversations about what those tools can and can't do well.
Can you make spotting AI content into a game? Like, find the weird thing in this video?
Absolutely. Point out the visual glitches, the strange audio, the generic storylines. Kids are actually pretty good at noticing when something feels off once they know what to look for. It can be entertaining to find the mistakes.
What about finding the good stuff? If there are actually useful AI educational tools out there, how do you separate those from the junk?
Look for tools developed by reputable educational companies or organizations. Check if they have actual educators involved in the design. Read reviews from other parents. And importantly, look for tools that are transparent about being AI powered and have appropriate safeguards built in.
So, same as anything else, it's about how it's used and who's behind it.
Right. AI itself isn't the problem, but we need to think about how children interact with it, especially when they're still learning to distinguish between what's real and what's artificial, what's trustworthy and what's not.
I find it fascinating that we're at this point where kids need to learn how to spot AI generated content the same way we learn not to believe everything we read on the internet. It's like a whole new layer of media literacy.
That's exactly what it is. The skills kids need now include understanding that not everything that looks real is real, and not everything that sounds authoritative is accurate.
Because let's be honest, some of these kids probably understand this technology better than most adults do.
In many cases, yes, which means involving them in the conversation rather than just imposing rules can be more effective. They might actually teach you something.
All right, so what's the takeaway here?
1. AI generated content is everywhere on platforms kids use. Know what to look for. 2. Learn the signs so you can spot it. Three, if your kids are using AI chatbots, talk to them about what these tools actually are. Four, there are quality AI educational tools worth using. And five, teaching critical thinking is more valuable than trying to control everything they see.
It's weird to think about kids growing up in a world where they have to question whether the cartoon they're watching was made by a person or a computer, but here we are.
Here we are indeed.
Thanks for breaking this down, Navi. And thanks to everyone listening. If you've got questions or topics you want us to cover, let us know. Until next time, this is My AI and I, where we try to figure out what's happening with AI while it's happening.
See you next week.
Hey everyone, if you liked this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Thank you.